Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is Faryal from Scrumptious Cakes by Fairy, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do the central dowel technique. Central dowel technique is the technique where you use the big thick dowel going through all of the tiers of your cake right in the middle. It's perfect if you have double barrel cakes and if you have tiered cakes, because your cake is like center dowel from the center, so it has less chances to move on the breaks and bumps on your journey. So it's the best way if you want to secure your cakes. I also do it when my customers orders buttercream cakes. When I know that it's all buttercream cake and there is no ganache in it, then I do central doweling to secure the cake as much as possible. So yeah, if you want to learn how to do central doweling, then please keep watching. Thank you. Okay, so to make the central dowel support, you need your cake drum and cake cards. So cake cards depend on how many tiers you are doing for central doweling. My cake is 2 tiers, so I'm using the same size card as my cake. With these cake cards gonna go underneath my cake. If you have seen my crumb coating video and how to fill the cake, you will see me using these cards underneath my cake. Need the cake drum or cake board. It's a very thick cake board. It is about, I think, 15 mm if I'm not wrong. You need a dowel. I'm going to use this poly dowel. This is very thick dowel. This is about 15 mm size. And pen. You need this tool. This is a cutter, wire cutter. I'm going to use this to cut this thick dowel because this is very hard to cut from the knife. You need this ruler or scale. You need drill with the attachment. This attachment, let me just take it off and show you closely. This is the attachment you use to make the holes, basically, in wood and all that. So you need this attachment. I'm using the size of this attachment is 16 mm, as you can see. It says 16 on here, right here. This is 16 mm, remember, and my dowel is 15 mm, so it's just 1 mm difference because we need to use the glue as well, so we need that 1 mm margin between these two. So let's keep this aside, and you need the hot glue gun. You need to mark the back of the cake cards right in the center. This is the center. Make sure this is the right center, okay? You have to be very accurate with this. You need to mark both cards from the back side, and this cake drum you need to mark from the top. You don't have to mark from the bottom. This one you have to mark from the top. I don't think you can see, but I have marked it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this drill, and where I have marked my cross, I'm going to put this pointy thing right there, like this. Push it a little so it goes right in. Like this. I don't want to damage my table. Sorry. So just to show you, I usually keep it away from the table. I do these things away from the table or any furniture which I could damage. So I'm going to make the hole right in the middle with this, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to take the hole right at the back. Okay, so I'm just going to make the hole about 3/4 and not going till the end. So I have made the hole, as you can see. It's just a tiny hole which is from this tip actually, but it's not the full hole, so that's fine. But this one is bigger, so you can see. Okay, you just need to take your dowel and see how it goes in, like this. Okay, so this is done. Now I'm going to move on to cake cards. So we have marked the centers in both of these as well. We need to make the proper hole. Okay, so the drum, we didn't do the proper hole going through the drum, but this one we are going to make the hole which is like you can see through. So the same thing you're gonna do. Again, a little disclaimer, do not damage your furniture. So you need to do hole in the other one as well. You need to keep the dowel about 1 to 2 inches shorter from your actual cake height. So for example, if my cake, both of the tiers stacked are like 10 inches, so I will cut the dowel about 8.5 inches, because some of the dowel is going to go into this cake drum as well, remember that? So let me cut this and then I'll be back. I'm going to put some in the middle and some around the side. And I'm going to push the flat side of the dowel right in and use a little more glue to conceal around the dowel, so you don't get any of that cardboard stuff out. So I'm just concealing that. Hold tightly straight until the glue is dried up and the dowel is firmly stuck to the board. It's stuck to the cake drum, and it's, as you can see, I can lift it up. It's dried, the glue. So the point to stuck the cake dowel in the cake drum is that if something happens and you know the cake moves like this, or the harsh break while you are traveling with the cake, the dowel is not going to leave its space. Instead, this dowel is going to hold up your cake and it's not going to let the cake move around the cake board. So that's why I glue my dowel into the board or cake drum. I'm going to ice my cake. To ice or crumb coat the cake, you can watch my other video. I will try to link in the description down below. Watch that if you wish. I'm going to use these cards with the holes to ice my cake. This is the second board I'm going to show you. So with this one, what I have done is this drum has got hole in it, the one with the drill. As you can see, there is a dent, and I have covered this after making the hole. I have covered this cake drum with the fondant. You can see the hole here, and now I have this glue gun. Be very careful because my fondant is fresh. I don't want any marks. I am going to put the glue in this hole like this, and my dowel is here, so I'm going to push this in like this, and where I see the space between the board, between the cake drum and the dowel, I'm gonna fill that up with this glue like this. Okay, so here I have my first cake iced with fondant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the center of the cake here as well. So my cake is about 8.5 inches wide. That would be 4 and okay. So I'm going to mark the center. Got the center, same way we did for the cake drum and the cake cards. Now I'm going to take this piece. Remember, we cut the long dowel and we had a small piece left. So I'm going to take this piece and going to push it right in the middle, making sure it's the center. So by doing this, we would know that where the cake dowel from the cake drum is going to come out from, so it will make it easier. I'm gonna push a little down and then I'm going to pull back like this. So as you can see, now we have a hole in the cake, so we know the dowel is going to come out from this hole. Make sure you, now this is the tricky bit, you need to make sure the dowel comes out right here, because this is the center of the cake. You don't want it to come out like on the side or here and there, otherwise the cake is not going to be straight, because that dowel is going to go through the top tier as well. Now I'm going to take the same size cake card as the cake is going to go on the top. The top cake is 6 inch, so I'm going to use the 6-inch card. This is just to make sure where my cake is going to go. I always do that whether I'm doing the central doubling or not. It's just to know that, okay, here my cake is going to go roughly, and I'm going to press it onto the cake and it's going to leave the mark, slight mark, as you can see. Now I'm going to take the dowels. I'm using these plastic dowels. These are not hollow, these are solid dowels. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark roughly where I need my dowels. I'm going to use about 5 dowels here, like this. So this is the rough idea where my cake dowels are going to go. All the way, push the dowel all the way down until you feel the bottom of the cake, and I'm going to mark where I need to cut it, and I'm going to use my wire cutting tool again, and where the mark is I'm going to cut that. Like this. I'm going to push my dowel in. So that's how I'm going to dowel my cake. I have doweled my cake, and I have this board which I have iced later on using the paneling method. I am using these acetate smoothers. As you know, I love these because the reason I'm using it, because I'm going to push the cake away from the cake board using this and holding the cake like this. If I like directly hold the cake, it's gonna push my fingerprint and it's not nice. It's not nice at all. Even if you're using the gloves, you're gonna push the fondant in and you know there will be indentation. You don't want that. These smoothers are so good. I always use them to move my cake. Okay, so I'm just going to push my cake down the board, and I'm going to put one hand underneath like this. Okay, let me show you the bottom of the cake, how I'm holding the cake like this. Here, can you see the hole in the cake card? Why I'm having the cake hole in the middle of the finger? Because I would know where the dowel is going through, because obviously you can't see underneath. Here is my cake dowel. This is the tricky bit. Okay, it's gone through. Here I have. Now I need to see, can you see when I'm pushing the cake down, some of the cake coming out? I need to make sure it's coming out right from the center. Yes. Let me remove the cake, and I'm going to use my smoother, and I'm going to push my hand from underneath. So here we have the bottom one, and now I'm going to take the other one, which is right here, and my acetate smoothers. Here is my cake. This one I'm going to decorate once I have stacked on the top of this one. I'm going to hold from these smoothers. I have smeared some buttercream just to, you know, this is gonna act as a glue to stick the cake. Here we go. Now I'm going to push that one in. I'm going to push that one in. Yeah, it's gone right through. Remember, we have left the mark round, so I'm just looking at that and dropping my cake right on that mark. You need to press a little bit. Just pressing this down a little bit so it sticks to the buttercream. Just smooth the top. Like this. I'm not worrying about smoothing this tier too much because I'm going to cover all half the way with the checkerboard squares. So that's how I stack my cake with central dowel. I hope you like this tutorial. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.
The body start again.
Yes.